This is Agenda TV, sauti ya mwananchi.
On the NASA coalition side, there were changes, and by now we should have been communicated to you. But the minority leader today was held up in the budget committee meeting since morning, Mr. Speaker. So we have changed also our deputy whip, Mr. Speaker. We had a parliamentary group meeting on 28th of May 2020. So we had resolved that we are going to have a new whip in the name of Dr. Iseli Simiyu, but it has not been officially communicated to you, Mr. Speaker, because of the absence of who has just arrived now, the minority leader, who was to sign the letter today, Mr. Speaker, that was to come to your office. So I'm requesting the Osted deputy minority leader, who is just sitting behind me, should not continue masquerading as a deputy minority leader, Mr. Speaker. He is just, on no man's land. He is neither here nor there. So let him not speak here as deputy minority leader, Mr. Speaker, just because you have not officially communicated, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And he should start collecting his items from the office as soon as possible, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Wamalwa, you want to say something?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this matter happened, and I tweeted, and I accepted, Mr. Speaker. There's no one who can hold a position forever, including Honorable Junet. And today you are seated here, it's free sitting, you sign in, and I was allocated a seat. The problem of being a psychopath, Mr. Speaker, at times, you end up saying things which talk so much about what is between your ears, Mr. Speaker. So as you know, Honorable Junet likes making fun, but I forgive him for that because he knows he's psychophantic, that's why he's having that position. But the truth of the matter, Mr. Speaker, we know leadership comes from God. And you can be only in a position for a time. You can't be in a position forever. And Mr. Speaker, one door closes, a better one opens, Mr. Speaker. Right now, as I speak right now, Mr. Speaker, I'm focused to be the next governor of Trans Nzoia County, not through sycophants, Mr. Speaker. So as I'm here today, this seat here is not designed. The only two positions which are designed here is the majority whip or majority leader and majority whip. So when I came in, it's on first come, first serve. Mr. Speaker, ignorance is not defense. And as we move forward as colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I'll be legislating my work as the Member of Parliament for Community, Mr. Speaker. And I congratulate His Excellency the President, and will be here to support him for the benefit of this country, Mr. Speaker. But I also appreciate, I was more worried of Duale, Mr. Speaker, but I want to congratulate because Duale still remained our leader here. And we know the work Duale has done in this house, Mr. Speaker, with Honorable Mbadi. These are the two leaders who are always in the house, not like Junet who comes for comic, then he goes back. So we are here to give power and to strengthen our people what they've done. He's here for a few minutes, 2 minutes he'll be going out. He's here more of a comedian than a legislator. I thank you and you should respect others. I'm not masquerading. This is a position I was given, and because I was among the first people who signed in, that's why I was allocated. He needs to know that, Mr. Speaker. Time will come, he'll go back to Mandera where he comes from. No, you should respect people.
Honorable Junet, what do you say in response?
Mr. Speaker, I know the honorable member was giving his condolences message because I know when you lose a seat, I know how bitter you feel, Mr. Speaker. But he should do it within the confines of the standing orders, Mr. Speaker. When he goes personal now, and he knows I come from Migori, and he says he will go back to Mandera, Mr. Speaker, I accept that he has given his condolence message, but Mr. Speaker, he has to know that he was removed by the NASA coalition, not by Junet Mohammed. He should not direct his anger on me, Mr. Speaker. We had a PG that was attended by 118 members of the NASA coalition, Mr. Speaker. And one of the issues that was raised, Mr. Speaker, is gross incompetence, Mr. Speaker. And I know he's my deputy. He is not very good in doing his job, Mr. Speaker, and that can be confirmed even by the Speaker. He knows, having served under you for 8 years, Mr. Speaker, as a member of Parliament. Gross incompetence, Mr. Speaker, and characters that cannot be associated with these extraordinary characters that cannot be allowed in this House, Mr. Speaker, and you know what I mean. So, Mr. Speaker, let him accept it, and now he's even gone further outside the House. He has become a fake Secretary General of Ford Kenya now, Mr. Speaker. So he's a man who has done many bad things, Mr. Speaker. Please remove your items. He said Simu is coming tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, now you don't turn the House into a party PG.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For information, Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Minority Leader has no office. You are aware, and me and Honorable Cecil Mbarire, we never had offices. And as Parliamentary Service Commission, you've been looking around to allocate us offices. We've been operating from our offices of our respective constituencies. It's unfortunate that the minority whip didn't know, Mr. Speaker. And that's why I said many things happened on this floor of the House, which he doesn't know. I don't have an office, and you are aware. The only offices that are allocated are the minority and minority leaders and the whips. As deputies, we don't have offices. So I have nowhere to start packing, Mr. Speaker. It was for good information for you to get to know. As I said, he doesn't know how the things are moving on. Mr. Speaker, as I speak on matters of Ford Kenya, the political parties registrar will work on that. As we speak, I'm the interim Secretary General of the party called Ford Kenya. No. And if at all it will be communicated otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I respect the rule of law. It's not a must I continue being Secretary General or going to be continue being the Deputy Whip. Whatever the communication that comes out, Mr. Speaker, I'll respect. The way I respected when I was removed from the Deputy Whip, that because of my association with the Deputy President, William Ruto. William Ruto is an office, Mr. Speaker, Deputy President. And I associated with him particularly on matters of the church. I'm the chair of Catholic members of Parliament. I was not removed of incompetence, Mr. Speaker. I've been rated as one of the best legislators in this House, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to legislation. Where the whip cannot match a half. I have never brought any bill on this floor of the House. And you're aware about it, Mr. Speaker. He only comes here as a comedian, then he goes out. In the next 5 minutes, he'll not be here. If we table the number of bills I've brought on this floor of the House, which have been ascended by His Excellency the President, he has never brought any bill on this floor of the House, apart from comic relief to the legislators, Mr. Speaker. We need to respect each other. We have freedom of association. And I'm ready. I left the House. If I was to be removed because of my association with the Deputy President, so be it, Mr. Speaker. The Deputy President, it is an office, the second highest in the land, Mr. Speaker. And on matters of the church, we were together in Harambes for the ACK Church, the Catholic Church, the AIC. So if my association to do with the Deputy President was a problem, I've accepted. And I moved on, Mr. Speaker. That's why in my tweet, I congratulated, and I want to thank the NASA leadership for them to have given me this position. I've served this in the second term. I served in the last term, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate. I've also served in the second term, Mr. Speaker. Time comes and you go. As Mr. Speaker, if you are aware, those of us who have read about Shakespeare. Shakespeare says, Mr. Speaker, that all of us here on the stage, we are like players, Mr. Speaker. Then your time comes, you'll eventually exit. I've exited, Mr. Speaker. Junet Mohammed will never have this position forever. Even him, his time will come and go. And I've accepted. What is there is to pray to Almighty God as I move forward to focus on my future endeavors. And I'll continue supporting His Excellency the President in all the endeavors for the purpose and the unity of this country, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.